by Madeline Nelson. No relation, but kid. My niece, Madeline Nelson.
Company, present arms!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now if you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Honor, post colors. Right face. Forward, march.
Please be seated.
And thank you for coming here tonight. Thank you, Senator Lewis, and Representative Jones, and Representative Hagerty, Select Board, Town Manager Matt Cronalis, and families and friends of our firefighters and police officers for coming here this evening. Thank you, Maddie, for that outstanding job singing the national anthem. I also want to thank the Irish American Police Officers Association, Pipe and Drums, and the Reading Police Honor Guard. I want to thank David Clark, Chief David Clark, for his leadership in creating this event. I also want to thank Deputy Chief Christine Amendola and also Chief Richard Nelson for their efforts in planning and organizing this event tonight. Tonight, we're here to recognize the hard work of those who have been recently promoted, those who have performed above and beyond what's normally expected, and those who have reached important milestones in their careers. We also want to introduce and welcome new members and their families into a very special public safety team. Deputy Chief Amendola.
Good evening. For those of you who may not know me, I am Deputy Police Chief Christine Amendola, and I would like to welcome you all to this very special night. This event has become one of our favorite annual traditions. Two things I want to get out of the way. I did not chat GBT anything, even though everyone tells me to. And I'm not injured because I chased down any violent suspect. I just keep trying to be a sports mom and play hockey, and I'm too old. So those two things out of the way, for those of you wondering. So here in Reading, we have hands down the best police and fire department around, comprised of truly hardworking, motivated, courageous, dedicated men and women. We are housed in 2 different buildings, but we truly work together as a public safety team. A team that consists of police officers, firefighters, dispatchers, coalition staff, and admin staff. We have so many amazing employees, and we want to thank every one of them. However, tonight we get to honor a few deserving individuals and groups that have really gone above and beyond. It is important to honor them in front of you, their loved ones. These jobs are long days and nights. They take you away on Christmas, birthdays, and so many important events. So it's nights like tonight that we show your families what sacrifice you have made for our community. Tonight we also have promotions and badge pinnings. The police side has not had much movement this year, but we have one well-deserved sergeant promotion. But it is a big night for our fire promotions. As you all know, Chief Burns is retiring very soon. I have personally learned so much from Chief Burns, and I am sad to see him leave, but happy for his next adventure. Chief Burns is leaving the fire department in amazing, more than capable hands, and I couldn't be prouder tonight to see Chief Nelson and Assistant Chief Keogh get pinned this evening. Thank you to all those who made tonight possible, especially Chief Burns, Chief Nelson, my administrative assistants, Erica Ballard and Donna Ballou. Also, thank you to our very supportive Town Manager, Matt Cornelis, Assistant Town Manager, Jane Wellman, and our Select Board members. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you truly enjoy this evening. Please join me in welcoming our Town Manager, Matt Cornelis.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chief. Good evening. I'd like to begin by recognizing our supportive Select Board, namely Chris Haley, Melissa Murphy, Karen Herrick, Karen Rose Gillis, and Carlo Bacci. Thank you for your support through the years, and thank you for being here tonight. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 4th Annual Police and Fire Badge Pinning Ceremony. This ceremony is a way to honor you and your families, and to thank you for the heroic work that you do every day. I think it's very appropriate that this year's ceremony falls between National EMS Week and National Police Week, so that the extraordinary efforts of all of our public safety professionals can be recognized. This year, I'd like to especially thank our retiring Fire Chief, Greg Burns, for his nearly 40 years of service to the town. He will be greatly missed. Thank you very much, Chief. But I know that the fire department is in great hands under the leadership of our new chief, Rick Nelson, and the assistant chief, John Keogh, who you'll hear from later tonight. And I wish them both success. So we'll get on to the program. I just wanted to thank you all, ask you to enjoy the night. It's an honor to serve beside you, and I wish you health, safety, and success. Thank you.
And we're going to start with our promotions. Tonight, the police department is going to be promoting Sergeant Cody Costa. Cody grew up in Burlington and then received a bachelor's degree in movement and sports studies in 2012. However, he decided to pursue a law enforcement career, following in the footsteps of his uncle, stepfather, and 2 brothers, who ironically were also promoted to sergeant last year at the Burlington Police Department. Cody went to the Reading Police Academy in 2016 and started as a part-time officer in Stowe in Burlington. He then joined the Reading Police Department in 2018 and earned his master's degree in criminal justice from the American Military University. He was promoted to sergeant in September 2024 and has been successfully working as a patrol supervisor. Cody is also a RAD instructor, field training officer, and helps in so many of our community policing programs. It's my honor to ask Cody and his family, his wife Ashley, and his 1-year-old son Zane to come up and make his promotion official.
Next, we have Chief Richard Nelson. I'd like to invite Rick's sons, wife, and mother up. Chief Nelson is going to be pinned by his two sons, Rick and Ty. Rick joined the Reading Fire Department on July 28, 1997. He was promoted to lieutenant on November 6, 2003. He was promoted to captain on July 3, 2016. He was promoted to assistant chief on February 5, 2024, and promoted to chief of department effective May 29, 2025. Rick served as our training officer for a number of years. He's been a member and is a member of the Northeast Massachusetts Technical Rescue Team. He's been a fire prevention officer for 6.5 years. He has a bachelor's degree in fire science. He completed the Massachusetts Chief Fire Officer Management Training Program. He completed the National Fire Academy's Managing Officer Program. He's a certified EMT, a licensed electrician, and he's a scout leader for the Boy Scouts of America. Rick is exceptionally well qualified to be chief. He has a unique blend of education and experience, and he's sought out and received highly specialized training in a number of different areas in tactical rescue and fire prevention. Equally important, Rick has a community service and focus and a strong desire to give back. This is shown through the amount of time and effort he has given to the Boy Scouts as a scout leader. Rick is driven to be the best and will be an outstanding chief of department. And I really look forward to his successes in the future. Congratulations. up, we have Chief Nelson.
Thank you. So now I get to talk about John for a minute. John was hired in Reading in July of 2012. He became a lieutenant in April of 2021. And as of today, he is assistant chief. When John joined our department in 2012, he brought with him a high-level experience. John worked at Bill Rick EMS, a busy EMS system, for 10 years. Beyond that, he was a Westford firefighter starting in 2010. Hiring someone with that level of experience is not something we normally get. But we were really lucky to scoop you up, John. And we were glad to have you as an experienced firefighter and paramedic. You know, it was interesting as I reviewed John's file. Apparently, part of his hiring process required him to write 2 paragraphs on why I want to be a firefighter. I had forgot about that. So, I'd just like to read a couple excerpts. No pressure, John. The role of a firefighter is more than just a provider of invaluable service of fire suppression. It is a role of caretaker of those that cannot take care of themselves, an advocate for those that need it, and a provider of just about anything an individual or situation requires. John, those words don't describe how you carry yourself every single shift. I don't know what does. Your empathy and caring is obvious during each interaction you have, and you exemplify what the fire service has to offer. He then went on to write, I enjoy the challenges and reward of problem solving. Moreover, I am proud to deliver excellent customer service through the fire service. John has served in the fire prevention role since January. The learning curve is steep, and it has been impressive to watch as he has approached the role with vigor and enthusiasm. Most impressive, though, is how he treated people. He was willing to work with his schedule, although holding them to the code, he did make an effort to be fair. John would not just tell them what to do, he would take the time to explain. And this is really important, because often he could get them to buy in without fighting. John, I am so excited to work with you. Now do me a favor. Be sure to keep a close eye on me. Give me a kick under the table when I'm screwing things up. Deal? Well, with that, let's welcome John and his family to the stage. You're welcome. All right, next we had a promotion to captain. Captain Paul Dalton. He was hired in February of 2004. He made lieutenant in April of 2021 and captain in September of 2024. You know, Paul is our senior SAFE coordinator. It's an extremely important role in our community. He's out there working with people in need and helping them with services they may not get. He always brings a positive and can-do attitude, and that is so important to have. And one thing I find interesting about Paul is how he's able to read a situation and put it together in a description and really describe what's going on and help you understand. And his insight on many occasions has taught me a few things. And one last interesting fact about Paul. He dislikes microwaves and refuses to cook in anything but cast iron pans. So with that, Captain Paul Dalton and his family, please.
Good evening, everybody. Right to work, I guess. This next promotion is kind of awesome. I've had the pleasure to work with this fella in the ambulance. We might have even got one stuck on a ball field one time. But Lieutenant Rob Loring. Rob was hired in May of 2009, became a lieutenant in September of 24. Rob is a member of our hazardous materials response team for the Commonwealth. He's our technician in-house. This position is incredibly important. It's a large benefit to our town to have a hazmat guy on staff with us. He answers all of our questions and kind of reminds us on how to run the meters. It's great. Rob brings that unique level of clinical experience. He's been a paramedic for a long time. He's traveled all over the world, done all kinds of crazy things, and it's if you just have a conversation with him, you can just tell the depth of experience and knowledge he brings to the table. With that, Rob, if you want to come up here with your family. Come on, Willie.
All right, next we'll talk about Lieutenant Derek Loftus. So Derek was hired in August of 2001, and he made lieutenant in December of 2024. So one thing you gotta understand is Derek holds a really, really important position in our department. He is our chief question specialist. It's not hello, it's, can I ask you a question? Derek is serving as our EMS coordinator, and there may not be a more important role within the department. or at least one with as much responsibility. He has continued to improve and move our EMS system forward with his knowledge and his hard work. Derek, we're lucky to have you. Keep it up, my friend. And why don't you come on up with your family, please.
Next up, John D. This is kind of cool. I got to work with John. I was a lieutenant. John got to work with me on my group, and it was great to watch him grow and become the officer that he's becoming today. He's doing an outstanding job. John Dyer, hired in 2017, came to us, became a lieutenant in 2025. John served as our EMS liaison, helped to carry the department through the challenges that COVID provided. Thank you for that, John. Did a great job. He served as one of our first EMS preceptors and is helping to form the program that we have today. He helps teach and guide new paramedics every day, but what's really neat is to watch him teach new firefighters and will help them grow to become proficient in their job. Thank you, John. He set the standard for others to follow, and that's not an easy thing to do. You have a passion for the job, and it's obvious to us each day. John, come on up here. Bring your family.
Come on, crash the party, come on in, come on. All right, next is firefighter Jared Fox. You know, Jared, we were pretty excited when you applied. Not because it's you, but, you know, we hadn't had a Reading resident in the process for almost 20 years. But as the Fox name became public, and we spoke with other residents around town, they continually talked about the quality of the Fox family. Jared always wanted to be a Reading firefighter. His path took him to Biddeford, Maine to get training experience. Thankfully, that same path brought you home to us. Jared has shown up each day with a positive attitude and desire to improve. Jared, each day, you represent your family well. They should be proud. Why don't you come on up for your family?
This is kind of getting fun. So, before tonight started, I got to run into the next guy's parents, and I was talking to his mom and dad, and we got all the dirt on him. So guys, we got a lot to talk about to tomorrow. Oh, Kev. Little Kev. I say a little because he can change the batteries in the smoke detectors without using a ladder. Kev came to us in August of this year, of 24. And when he applied, he didn't tell us that his dad was the chief of another department. Thanks, Chief Connerty. Heads up. Appreciate it. Later, after we offered him the job, we asked him why. He told us that he wanted to carve his own path. Kev, you're doing a great job. You earned that on your own, and you are carving your own path, so congratulations. You are earning the trust and respect of your peers every shift. Everything you do, you're doing good work. All right. Dad, he's doing a great job. Be proud of the boy that you raised. We are. Kev, come on up with your family.
All right, last but certainly not least as far as our badge pinning, firefighter Mark McLaughlin. He was hired in October of 2024 here in Reading. So now if you don't know, Mark came to us from the Acton Fire Department. He had almost 5 years in the job there. You know, we met Mark for the first time. He was very curious about the department and asked a lot of thoughtful questions. This is an important tip-off to his character and who he would be to an employee. Mark, as your time here has passed, we've been impressed with how diligent and dutiful you are, and we're glad you made the jump to our department. Why don't you come on up with your family? All right, at this time, I'd like to invite a special guest, State Representative Richard Haggerty.
Right, back to police. Well, we are now into our awards segment, so I'd like to talk about the Police Department's 2024 Officer of the Year. This year's recipient of the Officer of the Year is going to one of the department's most valuable members. Lieutenant Christopher Jones has been with the police department since 2006, where he started as a dispatcher, but was hired as a police officer just a year and a half later. Lieutenant Jones climbed the rank of sergeant and then lieutenant in 2021. He currently is the Support Services Division Commander. He oversees the Community Service Officer, Traffic and Safety, the Armor, and the Fleet Maintenance Officer. On top of that, he oversees all the department's training and the Accreditation Manager. Let me tell you, as a person who was in this role before him, it is very busy. It's not exciting, there's no SWAT calls, we're not kicking in doors, but we both can write a very mean policy, right? The accreditation process has really become a full-time job. It is so important that our department and our community that we remain an accredited agency. Being an accredited agency means we have and we uphold the best practices in law enforcement, greater accountability from our supervisors, and ensuring we develop and implement a relationship within our community. We must show compliance with 274 standards. That means we must have a written policy and then show that we adhere to that policy. We have to show this every 3 years. Over the past year, Massachusetts Accreditation Commission has tasked all the accreditation managers to transition to a computerized assessment as opposed to the paper files we've been doing for 20 years. We actually just had our assessment last week, and Lieutenant Jones is one of the first accreditation managers to complete this. He has become the go-to guy in the state for the help in how to accomplish this task. After doing our assessment, one of the assessors, a police captain that has been doing this for very many years, emailed me verbatim and said, "Deputy Amendola, it was the smoothest, most organized assessment I have ever been a part of. You have a great department and you should be proud of Lieutenant Jones and all the work he is doing." I received another email from another police captain. "Deputy Amendola, thanks for a great experience. Lieutenant Jones ran the best assessment I have ever been a part of." Why did Lieutenant Jones do such an amazing job? Because he truly cares. He cares about all our employees. He cares to ensure our officers have the best training and equipment. He cares about our community and the relationship we have with them. He stands up for what he believes in and has the respect from all that work with him and for him. Lieutenant Jones is always someone I can truly rely on to help with any task and go to for advice. The department is truly lucky to have him. These are just some of the reasons why Lieutenant Jones is Officer of the Year. Lieutenant Jones is married to his wonderful wife, Kristen, he told me to say that, and is raising their 2 great boys here in Reading. I would like to now invite Lieutenant Jones and his family up to receive this award. On top of his award from the police department, State Representative Richard Haggerty is also going to be giving Lieutenant Jones a citation in his office.
Thank you very much. The most important, congratulations. I'm proud to be here with all of you tonight. I represent Representative Jones as well as Senator Lewis's office in offering our sincere congratulations to everyone in our Public Safety Division and for all their incredible work this past year. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Lieutenant Christopher Jones in recognition of being named 2024 Officer of the Year by the Reading Police Department. We commend you for continued service and dedication to our Reading community. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Signed by Representative Brad Jones, given this 19th day of May 2025 at the State House in Boston, Massachusetts. It's also signed by the Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano, and very proudly by myself, Representative Richard Haggerty. Congratulations to you and your family.
Kate, get ready. We're going to do a little change up in the program. Along with many police officers, we also have many other civilian employees in our police department. So we also recognize an Employee of the Year for 2024 of the Reading Police Department. Like I said, when people think of the police department, I assume they think of mostly police officers and dispatchers. But as our community needs grow, so do the police department. We have become overwhelmed with the amount of public records requests, license to carry applications, and many other administrative tasks. This administrative position is vital to our operations, and we couldn't have found a better one. Kate Steer has been a major asset to our team for over 6 years. One of her main daily assignments is processing hundreds of public records requests while keeping several values in mind. She must adhere to all the legal requirements while also balancing a deep understanding of public transparency and ensuring she protects people's privacy. Once a record is requested, Kate is on a strict timeline to get it processed. She does this daily while also helping prepare our court files, license to carry files, and many other tasks we throw her way. Kate's work ethic is top-notch. She is always ready and willing to help with anything. She comes to work every day with a contagious, upbeat, and enthusiastic positive attitude. She is extremely wise and is the go-to person for advice. Kate has a Bachelor's in Communication from Miami University and her Master's in Education from Boston University. Her husband, Morgan, and her 2 beautiful children reside in town. It is my pleasure to thank Kate for all her hard work and to honor her with this award as the Reading Police Department's Employee of the Year. I would like to invite Kate and her family up on stage. Kate is also going to be receiving a citation from Representative Haggerty as well.
Congratulations to Kate and her family. Again, to reiterate our sincere congratulations from the Massachusetts State House, I'm here to present a citation from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known to all, the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Kate Steer in recognition of being named the 2024 Employee of the Year by the Reading Police Department. We commend you for your continued service and dedication to the Reading community. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope of future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given this, the 19th day of May 2025 at the State House in Boston, signed by Representative Bradley Jones, by the Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano, and very proudly by myself, Representative Rich Haggerty. Congratulations. All right, back to the fire side. So each year we hold a vote. It's a vote of the peers. It's a vote of the firefighters to choose Firefighter of the Year. So this year in 2024, Lieutenant David Robideau was voted 2024 Firefighter of the Year. So Dave was hired in Reading on August 29th, 1994. It's a long time ago, huh? And shortly after he attended the Massachusetts Fire Academy. Dave's performance at the Academy was the first hint of who he's going to become. With a class average of 17 demerits, Dave only had 13. And the average score was an 89. He graduated with a 93 average and a 97% on your final exam. His first official example of being better than average. Throughout his career, Dave has consistently shown not only competency in his skills, but often mastery. Watching him do something as simple as the morning check is an impressive thing to watch. He's thorough, he's detailed. Dave quickly became someone who not only his fellow firefighters could rely on, but importantly, his officers knew that they could count on him to get things done. This was abundantly evident as I had the opportunity to review Dave's file. In 2003, Dave was recognized for his valor, skill, and tenacity at the rollover of a tanker truck containing 10,000 gallons of liquid methane. His officer noted that Dave added valuable advice and insight that helped develop strategy and tactics during that incident. In 2023, Dave was recognized as a crucial part of a crew that revived a 57-year-old male that had experienced a cardiac arrest. Now, my favorite was a recognition that he was given in 2018. Dave was part of a crew that responded for a dog that had been struck by a car. When they arrived, they found the dog stuck under the car and soaked in gasoline from a ruptured fuel tank. Dave, helping to lead the rescue, they used the jaws of life to lift the car and had to improvise with some wood they found on scene to crib the vehicle from falling and injuring the dog any further. They were able to pull out and rescue the fuel-soaked dog. They used soap from a neighbor and water from a hose line to clean off the gasoline. I'm happy to report that Stella the dog survived to live a happy dog life. In 2011, Dave was part of a group of firefighters who were voted as Firefighters of the Year. Yes, the second time. They had entered a house after a partial roof collapse due to the snow, and without hesitation, when they entered, they were searching for any occupants that could be trapped, and they had no regard for their own safety or a secondary collapse. And most infamously, Dave is remembered as the guy that saved our ladder truck when the exhaust system caught fire. Truthfully though, his quick action limited the damage to the truck and prevented a major loss to the department and the town. Strong work, Dave. Although I gotta be honest, there's a little bit of debate if he actually did us a favor or not. Dave's dedication to the job goes beyond what he has done in the fire station. Throughout his career, he has helped children learn about fire safety through the SAFE program. He worked at the Mystic Valley Elder Services SAFE program to install smoke detectors and CO detectors for elderly residents. In 2013, after the marathon bombing, he was part of a group of firefighters that donated much needed blood for children that were injured during that bombing. Possibly the most notable, he helped bring honor to the union and the department by going up to the Amesbury Fire Chili Cook-Off as part of the Red Hot Chili Peppers and kicking their butt. On June 29, 2023, Dave was promoted to lieutenant. And if there's anyone that has ever deserved to become a lieutenant, you're that guy. This award, the Firefighter of the Year Award, is an award that is voted on by our peers. They decide who earned it. It is not surprising that Dave has been chosen this year. Anytime you have a conversation around the firehouse that touches upon the subject of who a good firefighter is, Dave's name is always at the top of the list. Dave, you spent your entire career doing the right thing. You've continued to take classes and stay current on the ever-evolving hazards we face. You've been and continue to be both an informal and formal leader. You represent the values of not only the department, but of your brothers and sisters. Your dedication has never gone unnoticed. So with great pleasure, I would like to award you with Firefighter of the Year 2024. Dave McClain.
This next award comes with great emotion for a few reasons. Chief Clark and I have given out an Unsung Hero Award to an employee who has always gone above and beyond in their everyday role. A true reflection of the best type of officer or employee the community could ask for. This year, we suffered a tragic loss of a very recently retired officer. Officer David Savio passed away suddenly just 2 months ago from a medical condition. Officer David Savio served this community for 26 years. There are no words that will ever express that Dave was the kindest and caring most person we have all ever met. He is the epitome of what a community police officer and unsung hero is. Dave would literally give the shirt off his back to anyone in need. Because of the legacy Officer Dave Savio will leave upon our department, we have changed this award to the Dave Savio Unsung Hero Award. This award will be given to those who truly exude the characteristics of Dave Savio. It was very clear who that officer deserved this award this year. Community Service Officer Kristen O'Shaughnessy has followed greatly in Dave's footsteps. Officer O'Shaughnessy has completed 19 years of service with the Reading Police Department and 1 with Waltham Police Department. Officer O'Shaughnessy served 11 years in patrol and then became the department's first full-time community service officer in 2016. She has made this position what it is today. There was a lot to put on her plate to find the best ways to engage the community, as well as follow up with special populations in our town. Officer O'Shaughnessy is responsible for all our community events, such as the police department's open house, our senior citizen dinner, serving our school lunches, and many more. She is also the case officer for all our domestic violence needs, elder service needs, and special population needs. Residents and survivors were able to get through some of their most troubling times in life because of the compassion, knowledge, and time Officer O'Shaughnessy was able to provide them. I have watched Officer O'Shaughnessy spend hours to ensure a domestic violence survivor and their family feels safe and knows that law enforcement will do all that we can to hold their batterers accountable. Officer O'Shaughnessy was trained by Officer Savio, and it shows. She learned it was okay to be an empathetic and caring officer. The community of Reading deserves their police officers that are here to do far more than make arrests. I personally am lucky to have been so close to both of them and trained by him as well. Something I have not mentioned yet, Officer O'Shaughnessy is retiring after 20 years in just 2 weeks. We are extremely sad to lose such an experienced officer, but she has made the community service position a highly sought out and desired one. Officer Daylon Pearson has been training to take over, and I know the department is going to be in great hands. Kristen and her husband Matt plan to move south and live happily ever after without all of us in New England. Congratulations to her husband Matt, also a longtime Reading resident, as he retired this week from 35 years of law enforcement as well. It is with great honor to give the first ever Dave Savio Unsung Hero Award to my colleague, but more importantly, my best friend, since we went to the police academy together 19 years ago. We do, however, have a special guest to give out your first David Savio Award. Please welcome David Savio's mother, Lucille, and wife, Michelle, to the stage. And David's brother as well. Kristen, if you and your family would like to come up to be presented this award from the Savios.
Thank you to the Savio family for sharing David with us. We appreciate you. Our next award is a Firefighter Service Award. We have Lieutenant Ryan Buckley and his family come on up. And that sums up Buck right there. Yep. This gives me great pleasure to talk about another one of our most dedicated fire officers. 20 years ago, Ryan entered the fire service as a recruit probationary firefighter with the town of Reading. Since that time, he has honed his skills, sharpened his knowledge of the fire ground, and become a very well-respected paramedic within our area. Ryan represents his hometown of Reading with great passion and immense pride daily. Ryan is a fierce advocate for professionalism in every aspect of our job. He is a dedicated community servant. Often you will find him volunteering at the library or the school, reading to our youngest generation. Additionally, as one of our SAFE program coordinators in the schools, Ryan coordinates and delivers a high-quality program that helps school-age children understand what firefighters do, and most importantly, gives them the tools that keep them and their family safe. This is just a snapshot of the person that Ryan Buckley is. We are honored to have you with us tonight, and we don't say it enough, but thank you. Ryan, congratulations on your 20 years of dedicated service.
Be giving out a few life-saving medals. Every year we receive hundreds of what we call 911 hang-ups or accidental calls. We answer the emergency line and then the caller hangs up without speaking or tells us it was a mistake. Many times it was a misdialed phone number or a mistake by a young child. No amount of 911 hang-up calls, mistakes, can we ever become complacent in our response to ensure everything is okay. On April 27th last year, Officer Mike Lee responded to a home for a 911 accidental call. Officer Lee attempted to raise someone and continued to knock on the door. Checking the side door, Officer Lee was able to see there was blood on the kitchen floor and he knew he had to go in immediately. He called for backup and called for the Reading Fire for medical services. Officer Lee bravely and courageously entered this home alone, not knowing if he was going to face a dangerous situation. Once inside, Officer Lee located a male on the floor suffering from a very serious injury due to a suicide attempt. Officer Lee quickly performed life-saving skills by applying towels as pressure to help control the bleeding, awaiting the ambulance. At this point, the patient's wife had discovered what was going on. Officer Lee was able to calm his frantic wife, all while still aiding to the suicidal patient. A second officer arrived. Officer Graciali had helped Officer Lee with the incident. Due to the nature of this call and unaware of the facts of the scene, we still needed to treat it as a crime scene until proven otherwise. Officer Lee was able to maintain the integrity of the scene while performing medical life-saving skills with care and compassion. Officer Lee is the first Reading police officer that will receive the highest life-saving award for his actions and potentially putting his own life at risk to save the life of another. Because of these actions, this male patient survived. I would like to invite Officer Mike Lee and his family to the stage to receive this deserving award. life-saving ribbon award. On September 24th, while working the midnight shift, officers were called to respond to a brutal stabbing attack of a man and a woman by a close family member with mental health issues. Officer Andrew Schmitz and Officer Benjamin Moffett were first on scene, where they immediately began rendering life-saving first aid to one victim who had several lacerations to his throat and neck area as well as his wrist. While awaiting for Reading Fire to arrive with higher EMS care, Officer Moffett held a makeshift pressure dressing on the male's neck for several minutes due to the serious carotid artery bleed. Officer Schmitz then evaluated and began to tend to the female victim. While this was occurring, a third officer arrived on scene, Officer Barrett, and needed to ensure that the scene was safe. He entered the home to look for the assailant and found that he had fled. Officer Barrett stayed to maintain security of the officers while they treated the victims, not knowing if the suspect would return. Reading Fire arrived on scene and was quick to take over emergency medical services as needed. You will hear further on their actions later this evening. As the investigation continued that evening, Officer Moffett was able to locate the suspect and place him into custody while starting the process of mental health treatment as well for him. All the officers this evening responded heroically to an extremely dangerous call. They risked their own life and safety to save others. Yes, some may say that's what they signed up to do, which is true, but actually doing it is something less than 1% of others could ever do. I commend these officers for their actions. Officer Smith is unable to make it this evening, but I invite Officer Benjamin Moffett up to receive his life-saving medal that I am extremely grateful for to have such great officers. To Lieutenant Loftus to give out the award.
Good evening. All right, so I'm going to be presenting the Outstanding EMS Provider Awards. The first incident at 4:40 in the afternoon on a cloudy Thursday. Reading 911 received a call reporting a person having a seizure. Fire department resources were quickly dispatched. On arrival, Engine 4 and Medic 1 were directed to a female that is found to be unresponsive without a pulse or breathing. The crews immediately began high-quality CPR while the defibrillator was set up. Our paramedics quickly recognized a heart rhythm, vacant shock. Acting quickly, they jumped into action. Over the next 12 minutes, they continued CPR as the team administered 3 shocks and multiple medications to help a heart that was malfunctioning. After 12 minutes, the heart settled into a normal heart rhythm, producing a life-sustaining pulse. En route to the hospital, Reading paramedics continued their treatment as their patient began to breathe on their own. As a result of the high level of care given, a patient with a life-sustaining pulse and spontaneous respirations was delivered to the emergency room for further treatment. 4 months later, our patient walked into the fire station to meet her caregivers. After several large hugs, as well as a few tears, she told us that she was close to completing her studies to become a teacher. The efforts of our paramedics not only saved the life of a woman, but will touch the lives of all of our future students. Their lives will be improved by interacting with this wonderful woman who had no pulse when our Reading paramedics arrived. Many lives will be improved due to the hard work and dedication of our paramedics. Please help me and welcome to the stage our first group of outstanding EMS providers for 2025. You good? Captain Scott Mayette, Firefighter Max Madden, Firefighter Lindsay Gartner, Firefighter Antidio Vargas, Our second call. Just after midnight, fire companies began clearing from a response where someone had pulled a false alarm. Medic 1 was transporting a patient to the Winchester Hospital. Reading dispatchers received a panicked phone call reporting a person stabbed. Police and fire units were quickly dispatched. Engine 3, having just cleared that false alarm, was close by and immediately assigned themselves to the call. On arrival, Engine 3 found a chaotic scene that was being secured by members of the police department. They were directed to a male who had stab wounds and had lost a large volume of blood. As the crew began to treat the critically injured male, our officer in charge arrived. He immediately notified that there was a second victim. Additional resources were requested to the scene, and there was a long delay for transporting an ambulance, with that ambulance coming from Wilmington, and the other being our ambulance responding back from the hospital. Thankfully, we had 8 paramedics on the fire apparatus who could treat and stabilize the patients. The male patient began to deteriorate as the crews treated him. Fortunately for this patient, all of our trucks are certified as ambulances, and they carry critical life-saving equipment. Because of their hard work, their advanced skills, and advanced life support equipment, they were able to get the man stabilized, although still in critical condition before the ambulances arrived. They recognized him as an unstable patient, and the crews transported with 2 additional paramedics to assure they were ready if he started to deteriorate again. Thankfully, the male did not deteriorate. Our paramedics were able to buy him the life-saving time he needed to get definitive treatment from a doctor. Several days later, he was able to walk out of the hospital and return to his normal life. This is not the end of the story. On the night of the event, some of the crew members recognized that his son, who had witnessed the event, and saw that he was distraught. Showing great compassion, they took time to speak with him. They listened to him and helped him to realize that speaking with a mental health professional would help him deal with the trauma that he just witnessed. This event illustrates how great our firefighters are at treating clinically, but also how compassionate they are with others that are affected by the events. We must always remember to not only treat the physical wounds, but the mental wounds of those that know and love that patient. Please help me welcome to the stage our second group of outstanding EMS providers for 2025. Captain Pouliot, Lieutenant Ryan Buckley, Lieutenant Rob Loring, Firefighter Chris Smith, Firefighter Bob Forsey, Firefighter Pat Stewart, Firefighter John Messer, Firefighter Sean Devlin, Firefighter Mike Boulin, Firefighter Doug Butchell.
About a critical incident award. We know today as police officers, we had to change our response, our approach, our training, and our beliefs to certain calls we respond to. Beliefs that not every dangerous or deadly situation will stem from a criminal who is purposely trying to hurt us or someone else. Unfortunately, there is a large number of people suffering from mental health issues, crisis, and trauma. As first responders, we are often called to these dangerous scenes. We hope every time we are able to de-escalate these calls with no harm to the person in need of help, the officers, or anyone else. At our department, we have an internal working group with police, fire, and the coalition that go over many of our critical incident calls, which are known as our critical incident calls. We have many of these annually. This working group has chosen one critical incident from the past year that they believed was the top response of all the years called. On October 27, 2024, officers were called to respond to a person out of control, suffering from a mental health breakdown that was screaming and kicking indoors. Officer Brian Catanzano and Officer Joshua Graciale arrived on scene and were told the person was on the second floor of the home. They announced their presence as they headed up the stairway. They headed down a dark and narrow hallway to find themselves feet away from an individual who was now holding a knife to their chest. Working as a team, one officer prepared for lethal cover in case the individual attempted to threaten the officer's life, while the other officer, Officer Catanzano, assumed less lethal cover by deploying and preparing his taser. Next, the individual demanded officers shoot her as she stated she wanted them to end her life. Officers immediately began to negotiate and plead with her to drop the knife. It appeared she was complying and dropped to her knees, laid down, and let go of the knife for a moment. As the officers began to move closer, thinking she was compliant, she then reached again for the knife. Taking the least amount of force possible and risking their safety, they used defensive techniques to secure and immobilize her arm, prying the knife out of her hands and placing her into handcuffs. The care and compassion to human life and their crisis intervention skills were able to end this call with no injuries to anybody. The individual was able to be transported to the hospital to get efforts to receive the mental help necessary. The officer in charge that evening, Sergeant Ben Woodward, stated that these officers performed at an elite level using their training and de-escalation to safely resolve this call. He stated they displayed extraordinary courage and valor and exemplary performance to the community in dealing with a very serious mental health call. It's my pleasure and gratitude to call up Officer Brian Catanzano for this year's Critical Incident Response Award. I didn't forget about Officer Graciale. He wasn't able to make it. I'm going to call the officers up first because apparently they have no family either that wanted to be here. So, no, I'm just kidding. They have too many family members. Officer Bobby Smith, Officer Robert Hutchins, and Officer Lauren Talafiero, please come to the stage. Just take your time. These three officers are receiving our community service ribbons. Being a police officer, you are asked to wear so many hats. Every day we are called upon to be law enforcers, counselors, teachers, mediators, just to name a few. Every role has its importance, but one of the areas of policing that we here at the Reading Police Department find to be of the utmost importance is community service. It can often be referred to as community policing, but it is much more than that. It is a service. I think we do an amazing job of getting out in our community in Reading. Some of our community service is organized and set up, such as our Youth Academy, Citizens Police Academy, car seat installation, and school events. Others can be when an officer sees a lemonade stand they stop at, that they hope they pay the kids double for, and they also stop at basketball games to cheer on the kids. Every year, we like to recognize those officers who really went above and beyond by attending almost every event or volunteering for so many functions. These officers are at the forefront for building trust in our community and setting a great example. I would like to thank them for all their time and dedication to serving the community this year. Thank you. That's all you'll hear from me. Thank you, everyone.
Next, we have the Meritorious Service Award. One evening at 11:30 p.m., crews were dispatched to a female having a mental health issue. When they arrived, they found her locked in a vehicle and unwilling to exit the vehicle. The patient kept starting and turning the car on. She was clearly having a mental health emergency. The firefighters were concerned that she may drive away and present a hazard to the public and to herself. To prevent this, the fire engine was placed across the end of the driveway, and her wheels were chopped in hopes of keeping her contained to the driveway. Each of the firefighters on scene took a turn speaking with her to de-escalate the situation. All were calm, professional, and supportive. Unfortunately, they were unable to get her to cooperate. As they were speaking with the patient, they were simultaneously putting a plan together on how they would force entry to the car if she tried to leave. Regrettably, their fear became true when she started the vehicle and shifted into reverse. The vehicle was likely to start moving at any moment. At great risk to themselves, they quickly acted. They broke the passenger side window, allowing them to open the door and get into the vehicle and place it into park. Once they placed the vehicle in park, they were able to open the doors and work with the patient and remove the patient and then treat her and then bring her to a local hospital to get her the treatment that she needed. These firefighters encountered an unusual situation. This was not something that they had specifically been trained for. The car was a threat and a potential weapon. Using their experience and working as a team, they recognized the threat to the public and acted. They acted without regard to their own safety and stabilized the situation, and most importantly, helped a woman to get some desperately needed help. For their dedication to protecting the public, the following personnel have earned the Meritorious Service Award. Would the following people come to the stage, please? Lieutenant Brian Ryan, Firefighter Justin Charisse, Firefighter Evan Lorenz, Firefighter Brian Roche, and Firefighter Nick DeRoche. Next, I'd like to invite Erica Mallet and Brian Lewis and Cooper to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to everyone that was honored, our newly pinned firefighters, to all those that got a promotion. Your families should be very proud. I know as a Reading resident and an employee of the town, I'm very proud to be part of the public safety family. My job tonight is to present awards to 4 exceptional seniors from our Rocket Leaders in Action program. With me, I have our advisors, Officer Lewis, Detective Lewis, and Cooper, Jasenia Cruz and Michelle Hopkinson, who co-advise the Rocket Leaders in Action program. It's a joint program through the police department and the Reading Memorial High School. Our honorees worked really hard this year, collecting food for the Reading Food Pantry and organizing mental wellness workshops for 8th graders. In addition to that, they are strong students and contribute in a lot of service areas. As we can see tonight, leaders are developed through acts of service, and these young people exemplify not just by who they say they want to be, but the way that they act. So tonight we present the Emerging Leaders Award and Medal to the following students. Megan Calhoun, who's attending Fairfield University. Come on up, Megan. Megan was one of our organizers of the Stuffa Cruiser food drive for the Reading Food Pantry, bringing boatloads of food over to the pantry. Was very appreciative. Next, we'd like to recognize Justin Ramo, who's attending Harvard, one of our mental wellness workshop facilitators. Congratulations, Justin. Next, we'd like to honor Gabriella Heisinger, who's attending Providence College. Gabby has been our intern and an outstanding workshop facilitator. Very proud of you, Gabby. And last but certainly not least, we want to welcome Maya Muscarella to the stage, who's going to be attending UNH in the fall. She's done amazing work for the Rocket Leaders in Action Club. And I just want to say that we wish our graduates great success as they join their college communities next year. May you continue to develop your leadership abilities. To their families of Megan, Justin, Gabby, and Maya, enjoy the graduation celebrations that are to come, and know you have raised 4 amazing young people that have already emerged as outstanding amongst their peers. Thank you.
All right, so it's the favorite time of the night. If you notice, the table is now empty. Before we go, I have a question for you. I'd like to ask you what 5 days means to you. For my fellow firefighters, brothers and sisters in the audience, likely they're thinking about the number of days off. For my brother and sister police officers, you probably think it's a good week of details. One of the funny things that have occurred since I took over this position, wearing the color gold on my chest, it seems to invite the public to come up and say hello. And in particular, they want to come up and talk about the department. And I get to be the face and I get to have a discussion. And the good news is it's almost always good. And in this case, a woman retirement age came up and found me, and she wanted to talk about her interaction with our departments. And she wanted to tell me about an incident that occurred on December 20th, where her husband was playing ping pong with his son, and he suffered a massive heart attack and arrested. And she wanted to talk about the fact that the initial arriving police officers were wonderful, they were empathetic, and they began treatment of the husband. And she wanted to talk about the wonderful firefighters that arrived and gave treatment to her husband, and were empathetic with the family, and took time to talk with them and help her understand what was going on. And we transported him to the hospital. And she wanted to tell me that on December 25th, after having 5 days of spending time with her husband in and out of consciousness, the family had had time to say goodbye. And the morning of December 25th, as she was leaving, she was the last one to leave the room, her husband made a noise and she turned around. And she very quietly whispered to me, he mouthed, "I love you." And she said it again. He mouthed, "I love you." This was probably the greatest Christmas gift she could have asked for. Later that day, her husband passed away. But this woman wanted to tell me about the 5 days that our public safety departments gave her and her family with her husband. 5 days will never mean the same thing to me ever again. But 5 days is what each one of you do when you go out there and interact with the public. And whether you're giving them 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 days, or 5 years, you have the opportunity to improve their lives. And it may just be another routine call for us. It may just be another code. But for them that day, it is so much more than that. And for each one of you that go out there and represent the town of Reading, the Reading Police Department, the Reading Fire Department, thank you very much. It's for you that we are able to provide public service and take care of the public. So as you leave here tonight, think about what 5 days might mean to you. And just continue doing what we know each one of you do each and every day. Thank you all for coming.